Hi, I'm Ed Conley, and I've been exploring consciousness since the 50s. And began exploring it in philosophy, and then in religion, and then in yoga, and in psychology, Jung, Freud, and then in Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, and finally Zen Buddhism. And even that became part of my exploration. For the first Zen I explored was the Zen of Alan Watts, intellectual Zen, philosophical Zen, interesting Zen, curious, puzzle Zen, but it was all out there. The consciousness I was exploring was out there. And finally, I'm 88 now. Oops, 89, I missed a year. I've come to a point where the consciousness I explore is the consciousness I'm right now. So I explore my consciousness on TikTok or my writing on Facebook. The writing and the talking is the exploration. It's a discovery. I'm free. I'm free from prompts. I'm free from talking points, from writing notes on my wrists. I'm free from wondering, will you like me? Am I getting a hook here so you can watch what I talk about? Am I doing this correctly? Am I following the instructions of the influencers and the TikTok coaches? Am I getting views? Am I going viral? Am I doing it right? Free from all that. Fuck it. I'm free from the external consciousness. See, we split consciousness into two minds. It's like this. Jesus Christ. I dropped a frog. This is a brass frog. Let me get the other one. Just don't go away. I can't find it. Anyway, there's two of them. And we split consciousness. I don't edit this. This is what you get. This is raw. We split consciousness into two frogs. I had one, but I lost it. Maybe that's the point. We split consciousness into two frogs. One frog is out there, consciousness out there, and I explore that consciousness in books and philosophy and Alan Watts and the yoga masters and all that, you see. It's out there. And this frog is in here. I never explore this frog. I just explore the outside frog. So what has happened to me? I dropped the outside frog. And now there's just one frog. There's just one frog, one consciousness. And that includes you. So there is no external watching consciousness. I'm not afraid of you watching me and saying, oh, that guy's a little weird, you see. Does he know what he's talking about? That sounds like my father. He was a disapproving father. Even when he stroked out, he'd be in the back seat of the car. Don't you know where to drive? That's the other frog. That's the other frog watching me, criticizing me, waiting for me to make a mistake, making me self-conscious, nervous, hesitating, stuttering, you see. Watch the King's Speech. How do you get rid of that stutter? The fear of the other watching you. How do you get to one frog? How do you get to be one frog? You see, instead of two frogs. We are created, or we are born into a culture with two frogs. An outside and an inside. And the outside is the real one, is real, and the inside is secondary, dependent upon the outside. You see that? We're dependent upon what other people think. I live in Blackstone, Virginia, a small town in southeast Virginia, 50 miles from Richmond. My wife grew up here. I didn't. We came here in 1980. But I've noticed that the glue that holds small town culture together, even if you leave, is what will people think? What will people think? This is the matrix of culture. What will people think? And that way you self-correct to the alignment with the culture. So people in Blackstone are all for Trump, most of them. And they align with the culture because they're afraid of what people will think if they don't align with the culture, which is Republican and white supremacist. Or it just goes back to the Civil War. It's still going on here. You get the point? Our minds split into two frogs, and the exterior frog is the dominant frog. So we are subconsciously fearful of what the other frog will think of us. It's one frog. The two frogs are me. So I ended up in Zen with the Zen cones. Here's the one that'll blow your mind if you really get into it. That's what I'm talking about. An old pond. Imagine an old pond. Mossy, trees, lily pads, little bugs buzzing on the top. Imagine the old pond. A frog leaps. A frog leaps. You never see a frog leap. I have a little Buddha pond in my backyard. Never see a frog leap because before I get there, the frog leaps. I never see the frog leaping, but I know he's there because I hear plop, plop. You see, an old frog, a pond, an old pond, a frog leaps, plop. The sound, the sound. This is the Zen cone of Baso, his awakening poem, his awakening haiku. When awakening happens, you usually begin to write poetry. Because you can't explain it in prose. You have to explain it in metaphor, in words that point to the sound, that point to the awakening. So the haiku, an old pond, your world, the world you see is the real, and a frog leaps, but you don't see it. And then there's plop, the sound. Now that sound is your awakening, because the sound is not divided. Can you divide sound? When you hear music, if you're sitting there saying, well, I'm hearing great music. This is great music, isn't it? Can you hear this music? Now you're listening to the music. The music's over there, and you're here, and you've got your arms crossed, and you say, oh, this is good music. Yeah, this is good music. But you're not the music. You're just listening to the music. The frog split. The music is there. You are here. But when the music becomes one, when there's one frog, this is when you are the music. And you're not listening to the music. You are the music. There's no split. There's no division between you hearing and the cause of the sound, the music, you see. The two frogs are one. The cause of the music, the band or whatever it is, and your ear are one sound. Plop. That's one frog. That's being home. Coming and going, you never leave home, says haiku. Coming and going, you never leave home. Coming and going, you never leave sound. Sound awakens you. We all know that. We all love our music, and in the music it awakens us. It arouses something. It arouses the mind that doesn't rest on two frogs. Music, when you get into it, arouses the mind that doesn't rest on two frogs. It's one frog. See? No, I dropped that damn frog, and it now became the plop of my talk. An old pond, a frog jumps, plop. Plop, plop. What is the plop? If you say what it is, you don't know what it is. You're just outside the pond. You're outside the music. Thanks for dropping in. Subscribe to this crazy stuff.